Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis, and this time we're taking another look at Akamai Technologies. This video is going to be a very brief follow-up to the video I made a few days ago on Akamai Technologies, so if you haven't watched that first video, please watch that one and then come back to this video. You'll get a much better idea of what we're talking about if you do that. So click those annotations, watch that first video if you haven't already, then come back here and take a look at this one. So if you have watched that first video, you'll understand everything I'm talking about. We're just going to go over what the price per share has been doing the last 2 days and why the chart's looking a lot better now. By the way, this is a one-day chart. Once again, each candlestick representing 1 day of trading, so we go back many months on this chart. But the action I want to take a look at is really those last couple days that we've had, since the chart's looking a lot better now. Let's kind of zoom in on that. So before today, we were right there. We hadn't had those last two candles yet, and the chart still wasn't looking that great. The relative strength index wasn't quite over the 20 line. There we go. It was still under the 20 line, and the candles were still testing this trend line. So everything was still kind of in the air. It looked like it was going to start legging up again, but it could also have broken down. It wasn't the best looking chart by any means. However, things are changing nicely on the chart. If you see, when I remove that line, our relative strength index down here at the bottom is now over the 20 line. So it's no longer bearish. That relative strength index is no longer bearish. However, we are in what I like to call no man's land, which is the area between 20 and 80 here on the relative strength index. Anything can happen in no man's land. The chart can quickly reverse, but overall it's looking a lot better now. What we want to see that relative strength index do is push its way up above the 80 line. Once it's above this 80 line, then the chart will start being bullish and we can start seeing a nice steady run up in the price per share. But until that happens, it'll be a slow, steady increase provided that it doesn't turn around. Now let's take a look back at this trend line. So in the last video I mentioned that this trend line needed to have held in order for this chart to start turning around. And the great news is that not only did the trend line hold, but the last 2 days we didn't even touch it again to test it. Our candles are rising steadily above that trend line, and we are already above my first price target of $51. We closed today at $51.97, right under the $52 mark, so it was a great close today for AKAM. The next price target is the $54 mark. To be more specific, that line is actually $53.80. That's the next area of resistance that I have, and we'll need to break $53.80 in order to have a chance at running to $58, which is my third price target. First price target has already been succeeded, so that's great. Let's take a look here. You can also notice that we have this trend line from October, and that's showing us that we've been in a downtrend since October, overall a downtrend. Even though we've ran up since those February lows, we're still in an overall downtrend from October. Confirming that is the fact that our 200-day moving average is above all the other moving averages and the candles. So what we want to see happen now is we want to start testing that $53.80 line. As we progress there, the relative strength index will be progressing up to the 80 line. And like I said, once we're above the 80 line, then we're in full bullish mode. We can easily see a nice run up in price once we're over the 80 line. So today we definitely made progress. Rather, the last 2 days we definitely made progress, and especially today we did. But we still have resistance to cover at $53.80, at $58, and depending on where the candles land, we will also have resistance, which is this trend line here. So overall, the chart's looking a lot better now. This thing is starting to get bullish. What I was afraid of was that this trend line wouldn't hold and the candles might come down, testing this weak support here at $46, but that wasn't the case. Indeed, we've remained above the trend line and we haven't even tested it yet, which is great. And the fact that we're now above the $51 mark indicates that this could be our new support level. We'll probably have support here at $51, so we really don't even have to worry about testing this trend line anytime soon. We are well above it and we have new support. So look for support at $51 now, which is great, and look for a test of $53.80. That's my next price target. Once we beat that, we'll be able to test $58, provided this trend line doesn't get in the way. And that's really all I got to say about AKAM now. The chart's looking a lot better than it was last time I did an analysis on it. And depending on the price movement the next few days, I might follow up with another analysis on AKAM. But just keep in mind, $51 is the new support, $53.80 is the new resistance, and my next price target. I hope this video helped you guys out. Please leave any questions if you have them, any comments. I'd be more than happy to see what you guys have to say about this analysis, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.